Hello friends, welcome to Joy of Life. So today we are going to check on a medium level problem from Leetcode. The problem number is 2. Add two numbers. So you're given with two non-empty linked lists representing two non-negative integers. The digits are stored in reverse order and each of their nodes contains a single digit. Add the two numbers and return the sum as a linked list. You may assume the two numbers do not contain any leading zero except the number 0 itself. Okay, so here we have a couple of examples that we see over here. Here we have the number 342, right? This is my linked list 1. So let's put LL1, and the linked list 2 that we have contains the number 465, right? Because it is stored in a reverse order, right? So 3 comes first, then 4, then 2, and similarly over here 4 comes first, then 6, and then 5, right? So we have these two numbers. If we add them up, we get 5 plus 2 7, 6 plus 4 10, carry 1 8 0 7. So we'll be storing in reverse order. Similar way, if I reverse this, what it becomes is a linked list 708, right? So we need to create a new linked list and return the head of the same, right? So here, if you notice that we are returning a list node, right? We will be creating a new list over here. So yeah, this is the problem all about. So do give it a try. Do try to solve it yourself before you check out my solution. So let's move over to the board and check out the solution. So here we have taken the same example from Leetcode and we are going to see how we are going to solve it. As discussed earlier that they said that these numbers are given in reverse order, right? So this number is nothing but 342 and this number is nothing but 465, right? And if we sum them up, what we do is 5 plus 2 7, 4 plus 6 10, carry 1, and then 3 plus 4 7 plus 1, the carried 1, it becomes 807. So this made the problem very simple, that we have stored the linked list in a reverse order, right? So if you see, if we do the sum, we do it from the reverse side, right? So here they have already done that for us. So what we just need to do is we have to start creating a new list. So what we'll be doing is we'll put both the pointers over here, right? We'll have two pointers, say P1 and P2, and which will point to the first node of both the list. We'll sum them up. And if there is a carry, we are going to remember that. And again, if you see, carry cannot be more than 1. That's also another simple part of the problem, because every node can consist of a single digit and the single digit cannot exceed 9, right? Even if you have two 9s, then you sum them up, you get a 18. So you put 8 and the maximum carry that you are going to have is a 1. Though it's not a problem if it would have been more than 1 also, but yeah, that made the problem a little simple for us over here. So what we are going to do is we are going to add them up and put it into a new list. So 5 plus 2, we'll put it over here. So we'll maintain a carry. So since the sum was less than 10, so the sum was 7, so the carry would be 0. So carry, we can say that sum by 10 we can just do to get the carry. Or you can just say that if sum greater than 10 or equals to 10, then carry is 1. Otherwise carry is 0, right? And we are going to take the number as sum mod 10. So this will give me 7 itself, right? So we put the 7, we go on, so we don't have a carry. So we do the sum again, 4 plus 6, we get the new sum as 10. So we do the mod, we get 0, and this becomes 1, right? So you put a 0. Basically what you get from this operation, you put it. So now you have a carry 1, so 4 plus 3 is a 7, and you put that sum over here and you do a mod and you get the 7 and you add the carry, so you put the carry over here, right? So this is the solution all about, but there are some of the edge cases that both the list might not be of the same size. They could be different in size also. You need to handle that case. So I might have two lists, right? The first list contains 1 2 3, the second list contains 1 2 9. So in order to do that, what we'll do is we'll iterate P1 or P2, and if I see that any of this pointer P1 or P2 is pointing to null, in that case I will take my number as 0. That's going to be the only thing, right? So this is a very simple solution. Since it has been given in a reverse order, it made the problem literally simple for us. So what we are going to do is we are going to quickly jump over to the Leetcode and check out the solution. So what we are going to do in order to solve this problem is we are going to first create a node, and so basically I'm going to create a fake head over here, and that's nothing but the list node, the same list node with a value -1. So whatever nodes I'm going to create, I'm going to attach at the back of this node. I'm doing this just because to avoid the null check of creating a head which will be initially null and all those things. So while we'll be returning just the fake head dot next, right? If there is nothing, what will be returned is basically null, right? Because fake heads next is pointing to null by default. I don't need to do this, but I am just doing this for your simplicity purpose. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take two pointers over here. Or I don't need to take the pointers. I can directly use the list node itself, right? I don't need to preserve the head because I am returning a new list over here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to iterate until both L1 and L2 is empty. Right, so we'll be iterating until both the list has values, and we need to extract the num. So we'll extract two numbers in order to do that, right? So what we'll be doing is we'll be saying that if L1 is null, in that case, what we'll be doing is we'll say that the value is nothing but 0, right? Otherwise, what will be the value? L1 dot val is the next name of that pointer, right? And similarly, the num2 will be from list2. So we'll be doing pretty much the same thing over here, and we'll be returning L2 dot val. Right, even for a pointer movement also we need to do that, right? So we'll be incrementing both the pointers. So if L1 not equals to null, then only we are going to increment the L1 pointer, right? Because otherwise you'll end up having a null pointer exception. Similarly, we are going to do the same thing for L2 as well. So once the pointer, any of the pointer reaches the end, we are not going to force it to move, right? And now what we are going to do is we are going to get the sum. So you can say L1 plus L2 over here. So we have the sum. So from the I am using too much of variables over here just for your simplicity of understanding. So the val that will go inside the list is nothing but the sum mod 10, right? And what we'll be doing for the carry is basically, so let's do something. Let's initialize the carry outside so that it becomes easy for us. So initially my carry is 0, so I will do L1 plus L2 plus carry. So initially the carry is at 0, and every time what I'll be doing for carry is I'll be just doing a sum by 10. Right, and what I need to do is I have to create a node over here, the linked list that we have created with the fake head. We need to create the nodes over here, and we are going to put the value that we have got, right? Then this would be the last node always. So node dot next is equals to null. That also will put, and let's put a pointer over here, just a temporary pointer which will help us to iterate. So let's call it prev and assign it to the fake head over here. And every time we do this, so the prev is initially at the fake head, right? So then, so what we need to do now is we have to just say that prev, which is pointing initially to the fake head, its next is going to point to the node, and also we'll update the prev to node. So once we have established the link, we are going to update the prev over here, right? So this is all about the code. So just think of a case wherein you have two linked lists like this one, right? So what will happen is your pointers are everything fine over here, both at the starting. You created the new node 3, and then you added again, there was nothing to carry, and then you got the new node as 17. You do a mod, you put the 7, and both the linked list has now come to this null over here, right? And the loop will terminate. But there is a carry 1 with you, right? You need to take care of that, right? So we are going to handle this special case over here right now. So basically a very straightforward check that we are going to do over here. We are just going to see if carry is greater than 0 or not. If it is, we are just going to create a new node over here and we are going to link it up. And as I mentioned, that carry cannot go above 1 with the constraint that we have. That's why we are just going to put whatever is present in carry. We don't need to do the check even for this. And we are going to set prev dot next to this newly created node. And at the end, we are returning the fake head dot next. Right? So this is the solution all about. Let's run and check. I hope it runs. I have to make some mistakes. This will be num1 plus num2. Put the node directly instead. So yep, it has been accepted. Let's do a submit and check for a broader range of test cases. So yeah, it's been accepted, and we have a performance of 2 milliseconds, which is better than 76.66% of the submission. And yeah, this is the code all about. I'll share the link as well. But once again, the main thing was the concept over here. I hope you got the entire idea of how you are dealing with things over here, right? In few of the groups, I was checking that some solution were talking about I have created a array list and how can I create a list node, or how can I convert this to a list node over here. So I just wanted to drop a note that if you are creating an array list, then also it's pretty simple. You can probably try out this code over here. So this is how you can convert your array list to a list node. So you just create a fake head with -1 value or any value you wish. Then you take a previous pointer pointing to your fake head, and then you start iterating over the list that you have. Your list is your array list over here. And then we are creating the nodes, right, from your array list. So this will provide me one after the one integers, and I'm just creating a node for each one of them, and I'm pointing it to null. And then what I'm doing is basically how it will happen is if you have a list with say 8124 something like this. So I'm creating a fake head over here. So I'll call it fh. So prev is also pointing to this fake head, right? So I could create this node 8 and put prev next to this node, and then I move your prev to 8. Then I create a node 1, and then prev dot next, again I put it to the next node and increment the prev, and so on and so forth. So that's why at the end I'm returning a fake head dot next, so that I return you from the intended node in the list node class, right? So I hope this will explain you the concept of how you convert your array list to a list node. And once again, if we talk about the complexity over here, so your runtime would be your order of n over here. So what is n? So when you basically say order of n, you should define what is n. So n is nothing but your max between list 1 and list 2. And max, when I say, I mean the size of list 1 and list 2, right? That's going to be your runtime complexity over here, since we have a loop iterating that many times over here. In terms of storage, if we don't take into consideration the list that we are returning, then our storage is pretty much constant. We are not creating any extra storage over here, and we are using whatever we have in hand, right? So there is no additional data structure we created. And if you wanted to consider fake head class that you created as your storage, then your storage is going to be nothing but your order of n again, where the definition of n is going to be the same, right? So you might say that in a case like 1, 9 and 2, 8, the way we discussed, here we have a list of size 3 which is greater than of n. So once again, just to remind, that is nothing but n plus 1, where n is the maximum length, and since 1 is a constant, I'm dropping it and we are taking order of n, right? The constant doesn't matter in your complexity, right? And if we are not taking fake head list that we are creating, since we are outputting into consideration, then our space usage is order of 1, right? So yeah, this is the problem all about. So yeah, I'll keep this video short, and once again request to all my viewers, do stay at home, be safe, take care of your family members, don't step out. The cases are in rise badly. So yeah, that's all from this video. Stay safe, see you soon, bye bye.